I just finished reading Intimate Apparel. For the first question, something that I noticed was interesting in the play was how Esther, even after being betrayed by George, continued to move on with her life and did not dwell in her past relationship, and how her relationship failed and just, tried to get herself up and still continue working, which was quite inspiring to me. Two values that I'm going to talk about are self sufficiency and betrayal. Self sufficiency is something that is quite evident throughout the play, especially among women when Mrs. Dixon is able to provide for herself. Even Esther has been working for 19 years and is not dependent on anybody else. And even her friend Mamie has been working for herself without taking money from anybody else, especially a man, which is quite inspiring. And the negative value that I'm going to talk about is betrayal. We see betrayal in the play when Mrs. Van Buren knows that she's being betrayed by her husband. Even Mammy and George betray Esther. So betrayal is kind of a negative value that is also shining out throughout the play. Something that I underlined while reading the play was on page 39 when George said that his parents were chattel, that is born to the children of chattel. I didn't know the meaning of the word chattel, and when I looked it up, it said it meant human property, that is basically slaves. So that kind of cleared out the context for me there about George talking about his parents being slaves. I think the play reinforces but also reinvents our ideas on African American culture. It reinforces in a way that Esther was a woman of color and she had to work for a white woman and work more for a white woman. The white woman being Mrs. Van Buren. She had to work more, and Mrs. Van Buren just got everything in her hands, and we don't see any way that Mrs. Van Buren has been working. And it reinvents in a way that even though it was in the 1900s, the African American women, they were able to provide for themselves, they were able to work for themselves, and they were not kind of dependent on anybody else, which reinvents our idea on the whole African American culture. I think sadly that the stereotypes still exist today, especially me being an international student. I have faced a lot of stereotypes when I came to the US. But the main reason, according to me, and what I have noticed is ignorance. People think that it doesn't happen. People think that it's just okay to say or think whatever they want to. But at the end of the day, it does affect people and it does happen a lot. So ignorance is one thing that definitely perpetuates stereotypes. And to overcome them, you have to stand for yourself, speak for yourself, if you have been facing stereotypes. So I remember me standing up for myself when I thought that something that someone said was not okay, sorry. So that's how you kind of deal with stereotypes. um Two of the questions that I would like to ask about the play. One, do you guys think that Mr. Marks and Esther, now that George left Esther, do you guys think that Mr. Marks and Esther ever communicated their feelings that they had for each other? What do you guys think? And the second would be, we all know that Esther gave money to George, and then George ran away. Why did we see throughout the play that she has been a strong independent woman. Why did she give her whole money to Esther, to George, sorry? Thank you.